In the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to start building assets that keep paying you over and over without relying on constant effort. You'll discover practical steps that can change the way you earn, save, and grow wealth starting today. This is about creating real lasting income that works for you, not just short-term money. By the end of this video, you'll have clear strategies to turn your skills, knowledge, and profits into systems that compound and grow over time. You'll also learn how to protect what you build so it lasts for years. Every tip here is actionable, easy to follow, and designed to help you take control of your financial future. Stick around, take notes, and start applying these methods today. Subscribe to Audiobook Shift for more powerful strategies to grow, succeed, and stay disciplined. Number 1. Identify skills that create income. You want assets that pay you forever. The work that begins that journey starts with a clear, honest inventory of the skills you can turn into income. Not vague hopes, not ideas that sound good on paper. Actual skills you can show, improve, and sell. Start by writing down everything you can do that other people would pay for. No editing, no judging, just a full dump of abilities. The software you can use, the kinds of writing you can produce, the systems you can build, the conversations you can lead, the problems you know how to solve. Think of this list as the raw material. The difference between a list that sits in a notebook and a list that becomes assets is the willingness to test and refine until money flows through it. Next, separate skills into two practical groups: high-leverage skills and low-leverage skills. High-leverage skills scale. 1 hour of work can influence many people or generate recurring income. Examples include copywriting that converts, building repeatable automation, creating online courses, or mastering paid advertising. Low-leverage skills still matter. Being great at one-on-one services, local trades, or time-based work can buy time to develop high-leverage capabilities. This classification helps prioritize where to invest learning energy. If the goal is assets that pay indefinitely, favor skills that can be documented, delegated, automated, or sold as a product. Perform a market test for each promising skill. The market test is simple and blunt. Can you get a paying customer within 30 days? Design small experiments that force a yes or no answer. Offer a paid consultation. List a service on a freelance platform. Run a small ad, or ask existing contacts if they would pay for your help. Set a price that respects your time but leaves room for negotiation. If 0 people will pay for a skill, it's not a marketable skill yet. That doesn't mean it's useless. It means either the way it's presented is off, the target market is wrong, or more proof is needed. Adjust and retest. The fastest route from skill to asset is feedback, and money is the clearest feedback. Build a skill improvement plan grounded in deliberate practice. Allocate time blocks. Small, consistent pockets of effort beat sporadic bursts. For 30 minutes each morning, practice a component of the skill that matters most: headline writing, code reviews, sales scripts, or editing. Make practice output focused. Produce one sales letter, one small script, one clean dataset. Track measurable improvements, increase conversion rates, reduce time to complete a task, or raise the perceived value in client conversations. Seek feedback quickly. Use short, specific requests like what one change would make this landing page clearer, or which sentence makes the offer stronger. That feedback loop is the engine of progress. Package the skill into something people can buy without you being present. Productize the service. Transform the repeated work into templates, courses, workshops, or systems. If the skill is design, create a template pack. If it's coaching, develop group programs or recorded modules. If it's technical, write a how-to guide with the code included. The goal is to convert personal labor into repeatable formats. Start with minimum viable assets: one simple course, one downloadable template, one subscription newsletter. Keep the product concise and delivered in a way that requires little ongoing effort. Test pricing with small offers. If 10 people will pay $20, that's a signal. If none will, either adjust price, message, or product. Create visible proof portfolios, case studies, and testimonials. The brain responds to evidence. A single clear case study showing results Changes conversations from hypothetical to factual. Document the process. Problem, steps taken, outcome, numbers if possible. Even small wins matter. The tactile act of writing a case study. What was the client's problem? What did you change? What happened next? Helps clarify the value you create and makes it easier for potential buyers to trust the offer. Display this proof where buyers search. A focused landing page, a professional profile, or a short PDF pitch that fits in a message. Price strategically and anchor value. Don't underprice to win a sale. Underpricing communicates doubt about the value itself. Use pricing tiers, entry-level offers for buyers who are cautious and premium offers for those who want deeper transformation. Anchoring works. Present a high-value option first, so the lower-priced option seems reasonable. Offer clear outcomes for each tier. Instead of selling 30 minutes of work, sell a draft that increases leads, or a template that reduces launch time by concrete outcomes are easier to justify and easier to sell. Design routines that protect learning and production time. Early mornings, quiet hours, consistent slots. Choose a daily anchor and defend it. The Stoic discipline is not dramatic, it is regularity. Protect those hours like an appointment with an important client. Use short sprints of intense focus, followed by rest. The reward for this practice is compounding skill gains and more assets built over time. Track output, not activity. Completing 3 small valuable deliverables each week moves the needle more than logging hours without measurable results. Leverage platforms and networks strategically. Marketplaces and social platforms can amplify early efforts, but do not rely on them as the only path. Build direct lines to potential buyers, email lists, partnerships, or a small group of referral sources. Use platforms for discovery and validation, then move buyers toward owned channels. The aim is to convert one-time buyers into repeat customers or subscribers. Every contact is an opportunity to iterate on the product and increase value. Create small systems for delivery and scaling. Automate repetitive parts, invoicing, onboarding, file delivery, follow-ups. Simple tools can shave hours from delivery time. Use templates for proposals, automated emails for onboarding, and a standard checklist for every project. When processes are repeatable, they can be handed off, licensed, or embedded into a product. That is what turns a skill into an asset, the ability for the work to be performed without constant direct involvement. Measure the right things. Track revenue per product, conversion rates, time to deliver, and customer retention. Numbers reveal where work turns into leverage. If one product brings recurrent sales, invest in it. If a service brings high hourly rates but cannot scale, use its cash flow to fund product development. Reinvest early profits into systemization and amplification, ads, improved production quality, or hiring a virtual assistant for repetitive tasks. Measurement allows disciplined choices instead of emotional reactions. Face rejection and failure with a Stoic mindset. Control the response, not the outcome. Some offerings will flop, some launches will be silent. The value is in learning what didn't work and applying it. Keep a concise log of failures and what was learned. Over time, these lessons sharpen instincts and reduce wasted effort. Discipline over time beats bursts of inspiration. Maintain steady daily practice, steady testing, steady improvement. The quiet, consistent work is the rhythm that compounds into assets. Finally, act now with small, concrete steps. Choose one skill from the list that passes the market test. Design a 30-day plan. Week 1, validate by finding one paying customer. Week 2, refine based on feedback and create a simple productized version. Week 3, document the result as a case study. Week 4, automate at least one part of delivery and set a price tier. Each completed step is a milestone that fuels momentum. Feel the physical act of typing the offer, the nervous excitement when the first payment arrives, the tangible weight of proof in the form of a testimony. Those small sensory moments, keys under your fingers, the first ping of a sale, the quiet pride after a deliverable is what stays with a builder. They become fuel. This work is not glamorous. It is steady, focused, and often slow. That is the point. The people who build assets that pay forever trade spectacle for substance. They practice, test, and refine until their skills are packaged, proven, and able to produce without constant input. This chapter is a call to disciplined action. Inventory honestly, test ruthlessly, practice deliberately, package clearly, automate relentlessly. The path from skill to perpetual asset is a sequence of decisions reliably executed. Take those decisions daily. The compounding will do the rest. Number 2, turn knowledge into digital products. Turning knowledge into digital products is one of the most powerful ways to build lasting income. Unlike time-bound work or services, digital products allow your expertise to reach countless people simultaneously, while generating revenue repeatedly without your constant presence. The first step is identifying what knowledge you possess that has value to others. This is more than a casual skill. It's the kind of understanding that solves a problem, fills a gap, or accelerates progress for someone else. Start by listing areas where you consistently help others, questions people ask you, or problems you solve faster than anyone else. Every insight you can provide has the potential to be translated into a product that delivers real results. Once your area of knowledge is identified, consider the format that best communicates it. Digital products are not limited to courses. They include ebooks, templates, guides, audio recordings, video series, and interactive tools. The format should serve the knowledge, not the other way around. Some lessons are better learned visually, some through reading, some through practical application. Think carefully about how your audience will absorb and act on the information. The more accessible and actionable your product, the more it will sell. Always prioritize clarity and usability over complexity. Simplicity enhances value. Next, structure your knowledge into a system that others can follow. Raw knowledge is powerful, but organization transforms it into something consumable and actionable. Break down your expertise into logical steps or modules. Each section should build on the previous one, creating a flow that takes the learner from confusion to clarity, from inexperience to competence. Consider common pitfalls your audience might encounter and address them directly. Anticipate questions and provide solutions in advance. A well-structured product shows professionalism and ensures that your customers achieve tangible outcomes, which in turn strengthens credibility and trust. Validation is critical before investing significant time in creation. Share a small piece of your knowledge publicly or with a targeted group to gauge interest. This could be a short guide, a free mini course, a webinar, or a downloadable checklist. Observe engagement, questions, and feedback closely. Are people taking action based on what you share? Are they asking for more? Use this insight to refine your product concept. Testing before full-scale development minimizes wasted effort and ensures your product meets a genuine demand. Early engagement also builds an audience who are primed to buy when the complete product is available. Creating digital products requires a focus on production quality without falling into perfectionism. Content should be accurate, clear, and visually organized. Video and audio recordings should be intelligible and free from distractions. Written materials must be polished, formatted for easy reading, and accompanied by examples, diagrams, or templates where appropriate. High-quality content instills confidence in buyers. However, perfectionism is a trap. A product that is useful and accessible is far more valuable than one that is endlessly refined but never published. Progress is better than delay. Packaging knowledge effectively is about presenting it as a complete solution rather than a collection of ideas. Show potential customers the transformation they will experience. Outline the problem, the steps required to overcome it, and the outcome they can expect. Include actionable exercises, checkpoints, and practical tools that enable them to implement the knowledge immediately. People pay for results, not information alone. Every module, every chapter, every segment of your product should move the learner closer to the end goal. Make the path from learning to application as direct and intuitive as possible. Distribution strategy is another crucial factor. Digital products have unlimited reach, but only if they are discoverable. Choose the platforms that match your audience's habits. This could be marketplaces, your website, email lists, social media, or partnerships with influencers in your niche. Optimize product descriptions and landing pages to clearly communicate value and expected results. Make the purchasing process seamless and frictionless. A great product that is difficult to find or buy loses potential impact and revenue. Strategic distribution is as important as the content itself. Consider pricing carefully. Digital products often tempt creators to undervalue their work, but pricing communicates quality and expected outcomes. Test different price points to find the balance between accessibility and perceived value. Offer tiered options if appropriate. Basic access for those who want a quick solution, premium packages for deeper engagement, and bundled offers for comprehensive learning. The right pricing strategy ensures sustainability and enables reinvestment into improving and expanding products over time. Revenue is not a goal in isolation. It is a measure of value delivered and a resource for further creation. Automation enhances the scalability of digital products. Systems for delivery, customer support, and follow-up can dramatically reduce your time commitment while increasing sales potential. Email automation, membership portals, downloadable files, and scheduled webinars can all operate without your direct intervention. This allows you to focus on creating new content, refining existing products, or exploring additional areas of expertise. Automation turns knowledge into assets that work for you continuously, creating a foundation for lasting income and freedom. Engagement with customers transforms a simple product into a lasting asset. Solicit feedback, encourage testimonials, and respond to questions promptly. Every interaction provides insights for improvement and strengthens the perceived value of your offering. Encouraging participation through forums, Q&A sessions, or live calls enhances community and loyalty, making your digital products not just a one-time sale but a recurring source of connection and revenue. A product that evolves with its users maintains relevance and demand for years. Finally, view this process as a long-term investment in intellectual capital. The creation of digital products is not a fleeting effort. It is the construction of enduring assets. Each product can be updated, repurposed, and expanded over time. Compounding comes from leveraging existing work to create additional offerings. A course can inspire a guide. A guide can be adapted into templates. Templates can form part of a subscription. Knowledge that is systematized and shared grows in value with every iteration. The initial effort compounds as audience, reputation, and revenue expand. Every step in transforming knowledge into a digital product reinforces discipline, creativity, and resilience. It requires deep understanding of the subject, clarity in communication, and the humility to iterate based on feedback. The process cultivates patience because results often appear gradually, but the payoff is lasting. By documenting, organizing, and distributing knowledge effectively, the intellectual work you've cultivated over years becomes a self-sustaining engine of income. Each product you release has the potential to serve thousands while continuing to earn for you indefinitely. Turning knowledge into digital products is a deliberate act of creation and leverage. It converts years of learning, practice, and experience into tangible offerings that others can access repeatedly. The path requires honesty about what you know, strategic testing, structured development, careful packaging, smart distribution, and ongoing refinement. By following these principles, knowledge ceases to be ephemeral and becomes an enduring source of value. Each product represents a step toward financial independence, influence, and the freedom to focus on what matters most. When executed consistently, this strategy transforms expertise into assets that continue to pay long after the initial work is done. Number 3. Start simple cash flow assets. Starting simple cash flow assets is the first step in turning effort into enduring income. Many people overcomplicate wealth creation, thinking they need complex investments, massive startups, or perfect timing. In reality, the most reliable path begins with simplicity. Cash flow assets are structures that generate money consistently with minimal ongoing input once they are established. They do not require endless reinvention or high-risk speculation. The key is identifying opportunities where small, repeatable actions produce consistent returns and where the value you create is clear, tangible, and needed by someone else. Begin by looking around for problems that have straightforward solutions. Simple assets often arise from addressing inefficiencies or providing convenience. A local service that is always in demand, a small e-commerce product, or a digital tool that simplifies a process can all become cash flow assets. The common denominator is reliability. The asset must produce predictable income over time. Start with a narrow focus, rather than attempting to build an empire immediately. A single manageable project that earns consistently is far more powerful than multiple ambitious ideas that never fully materialize. Next, understand the difference between effort-based income and asset-based income. Traditional jobs reward time spent working. Cash flow assets reward the value embedded in the system or product. The goal is to transition from exchanging hours for dollars to designing systems or offerings that continue to produce income even when your direct involvement decreases. Examples include vending machines, subscription-based newsletters, small rental properties, or automated online services. Each of these requires initial setup and thoughtful management, but can generate income that compounds if maintained correctly. Start small to minimize risk and gain clarity. Choose a low-cost, manageable asset that you can launch quickly. This could be a digital download, a membership program, a simple automated service, or a single tangible product sold online. The objective is to see results fast, learn from the experience, and adjust accordingly. Early momentum is critical because it provides both cash flow and feedback that informs the next steps. Focus on one asset at a time to maintain energy, attention, and quality. Analyze the potential demand for your chosen asset. Cash flow assets succeed because they meet ongoing needs or desires. Examine the target audience carefully. Who benefits from your solution? How often will they need it? What makes them willing to pay for it repeatedly? Understanding the behavior and priorities of your audience ensures that your asset will generate income consistently rather than sporadically. Collect data from surveys, test offers, and observe buying patterns. Use this insight to refine pricing, presentation, and delivery so the asset aligns with the market's expectations. Automation is essential for simple cash flow assets to scale. Look for ways to minimize repetitive tasks, streamline operations, and allow the asset to function with minimal intervention. Set up automatic payment systems, delivery processes, and tracking mechanisms. If the asset is digital, automate downloads, onboarding, and updates. If it is physical, create checklists and standard procedures for restocking, shipping, or service fulfillment. Automation does not eliminate the need for oversight, but it multiplies the value of your time and ensures consistent cash flow. Reinvest initial earnings strategically. Even small profits, when reinvested wisely, can amplify cash flow, improve the quality of the asset, expand its reach, or enhance its features. Each reinvestment should be aimed at increasing predictability and efficiency. The compounding effect of reinvested profits is one of the most reliable ways to grow simple cash flow assets without increasing personal workload proportionally. The process is incremental, but steady, and small gains accumulate into substantial long-term results. Consistency in monitoring and maintaining the asset is non-negotiable. Cash flow can be interrupted by neglect, poor customer experience, or unanticipated issues. Maintain a routine for checking operations, customer feedback, and financial performance. Adjust pricing, address concerns quickly, and make minor improvements regularly. Reliability builds trust and ensures recurring income. The discipline of consistent oversight transforms a simple project into a dependable income source over months and years. Focus on creating value rather than chasing novelty. Assets that generate ongoing income do so because they serve a real need effectively. Resist the temptation to constantly pivot or add unnecessary complexity. Each change should have a clear purpose, improving efficiency, enhancing customer satisfaction, or expanding reach. Excessive tinkering erodes focus and delays results. Simple cash flow assets thrive when they are consistent, understandable, and consistently deliver value. Reliability is more important than flashiness, especially in the early stages. Build systems for tracking performance. Know exactly how much each asset earns, the cost involved, and the net profit. Simple spreadsheets or small accounting tools can suffice initially. The act of tracking performance ensures decisions are grounded in reality rather than guesswork. Identify patterns in income, observe which elements drive revenue, and eliminate unnecessary expenses. A disciplined approach to measurement allows steady growth and reveals opportunities for optimization that compound over time. Consider replicability and scalability. Simple cash flow assets are easier to duplicate once the first model works. A successful approach can be expanded geographically, adapted to different markets, or enhanced with complementary products or services. Replication increases income potential without proportionally increasing effort. For example, a successful digital product can be marketed through multiple channels. A small physical product can be sold through additional platforms, and a service can be offered to multiple client segments. Expansion should always be strategic and manageable to maintain quality and predictability. Protect the asset from unnecessary risks. Even simple assets can fail if exposed to avoidable threats. Understand legal, financial, and operational risks, and put basic safeguards in place. Contracts, insurance, clear terms of service, and simple backup systems preserve the integrity of the income stream. Early preparation prevents future interruptions and preserves the compounding benefits of consistent cash flow. Engage with the customers or users of the asset. Feedback and interaction help maintain relevance and uncover areas for improvement. Address questions promptly, implement small enhancements, and ensure that the experience is smooth. A satisfied customer is more likely to return or recommend the asset to others. Even a simple product or service can generate stronger returns when supported by attentive and consistent engagement. Think of every cash flow asset as a stepping stone to larger systems. The first asset may be modest, but its earnings, lessons, and processes create the foundation for more ambitious projects. Treat each launch as an experiment with real-world feedback, adjusting and refining methods as you go. Over time, multiple simple assets can combine into a diversified portfolio that generates reliable income streams in parallel, reducing risk and creating long-term financial stability. Commit to daily attention in small, deliberate doses. Regular focus on refining processes, reviewing results, and seeking minor improvements compounds more than sporadic bursts of effort. Discipline in daily management ensures that simple assets continue to produce steady income and remain responsive to evolving needs. The accumulation of consistent action is the core principle that transforms modest initiatives into lasting, profitable systems. Starting simple cash flow assets is about disciplined action, strategic thinking, and patience. By focusing on manageable, predictable, and repeatable income-generating structures, you create a foundation that can grow over time. Every small, successful asset teaches lessons, builds confidence, and generates resources to invest in more complex or larger-scale opportunities. The process is gradual but reliable. Start with what is achievable, maintain it meticulously, and build outward. Simple cash flow assets are not just a way to earn money. They are the cornerstone of lasting financial freedom, the first step in a strategy that turns effort into enduring, compounding income. Number 4, build content that compounds daily. Building content that compounds daily is one of the most effective ways to create lasting influence and income. Unlike one-off projects or fleeting efforts, content that grows consistently over time becomes an asset that multiplies its impact and value. The process begins with understanding that every piece of content is a seed. Each video, blog post, social media update, or article has the potential to generate attention, trust, and engagement that continues long after it is created. The key is consistency and intentionality, ensuring that each effort contributes to a larger, ever-growing body of work. Start by identifying the topics where your knowledge or perspective offers unique value. Focus on areas where you can solve problems, answer questions, or provide guidance that people actively seek. The clarity of your message determines the reach and effectiveness of your content. Choose themes that are broad enough to generate multiple subtopics but specific enough to establish authority. Each piece of content should have a clear purpose: educate, inspire, or enable action. Avoid generic outputs. Specificity builds credibility and encourages audiences to return for more. Develop a rhythm for content creation that is sustainable. It is not about occasional bursts of activity, but daily commitment. Even short, high-quality pieces, published consistently, outperform sporadic, lengthy productions. Small daily steps accumulate into a massive library over time, which compounds in reach, influence, and revenue potential. The routine becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a self-reinforcing system. Discipline is critical because momentum builds slowly at first, but accelerates as your body of work grows and begins to attract attention organically. Prioritize formats that allow longevity and discoverability. Evergreen content, material that remains relevant and useful for months or years, is the foundation for compounding. Educational guides, tutorials, reference lists, and insights that answer recurring questions maintain value over time. Content that addresses temporary trends or fads can have immediate engagement, but does not contribute to long-term compounding. A strategic approach balances short-term relevance with long-term utility, ensuring that your work continues to benefit others and generate returns long after initial publication. Systematize content production to maximize output without sacrificing quality. Plan topics in advance, create templates, and establish workflows for research, drafting, editing, and publishing. Efficient systems reduce mental friction and allow consistent execution. Automating scheduling, using batch production methods, and repurposing material across different platforms ensures every effort reaches multiple audiences without repeated labor. Systems turn sporadic creativity into predictable results, making daily production manageable even with other commitments. Focus on providing actionable and practical guidance within each piece of content. Content that empowers audiences to act is more likely to be shared, recommended, and revisited. Include steps, exercises, or frameworks that readers or viewers can apply immediately. The more value the audience derives, the more the content compounds through engagement, repeat visits, and word of mouth. Every solution provided is a building block that strengthens your authority and draws more people to your work organically. Repurpose and expand content to increase its reach and lifespan. A single article can become a video, a podcast episode, a social media thread, or an infographic. Each adaptation reaches different segments of your audience and reinforces the original message. Repurposing ensures that your effort is amplified, creating multiple touchpoints for engagement without starting from scratch. The cumulative effect is that one initial idea can multiply into dozens of interactions, each contributing to compounding visibility and value. Leverage analytics to guide future content. Observe which pieces generate engagement, retention, and conversion. Identify patterns in topics, formats, and delivery methods that resonate most. Use data to refine future content, focusing energy on what works and iterating on what underperforms. Tracking performance ensures that every subsequent piece contributes more effectively to the compounding effect, turning instinct into strategy. Measurement and adjustment are critical. Without them, content grows haphazardly rather than systematically. Engage with the audience to enhance the compounding effect. Replies, comments, messages, and discussions create a two-way flow of value. Each interaction reinforces trust and loyalty, making the content more influential. Encourage sharing and active participation to extend reach. The relationship between creator and audience is a multiplier for content impact. Interaction not only boosts visibility, but also generates ideas for future material, feeding a continuous cycle of growth and improvement. Monetization strategies should be integrated thoughtfully. Compounding content builds an audience, and an audience provides opportunities for revenue through subscriptions, courses, affiliate partnerships, sponsorships, or digital products. Focus first on delivering consistent value before monetization. Trust and authority compound faster than promotional efforts. Once credibility is established, revenue streams can be layered without diminishing the core content, turning attention into sustainable income that grows alongside the library of work. Maintain a commitment to improvement in both quality and relevance. The compounding effect accelerates when content evolves to meet audience needs and incorporates lessons learned from feedback and analytics. Revisit older material, update it with new insights, optimize headlines, enhance visuals, or improve structure. Each enhancement increases the cumulative value, ensuring that content continues to attract attention and serve its audience. The principle is simple. Iterative improvement over time produces exponential growth. Invest in systems that protect and amplify your content. Backup files, create content calendars, and use tools for scheduling, automation, and cross-promotion. Establish processes that reduce the risk of lost work and ensure consistent delivery. The structural integrity of your content library matters as much as the creative effort. A well-managed system allows you to focus on creation and engagement, rather than firefighting operational issues, further enhancing compounding potential. Recognize that compounding requires patience and persistence. Immediate results are rare. The value of daily content accumulates gradually. Early efforts may seem invisible, but the consistency builds credibility, searchability, and trust. As more pieces are added, each one supports the others, creating a network effect that magnifies reach and influence. The reward is not instant gratification, but enduring impact that continues to grow over time. Focus on clarity and readability. Each piece should be digestible, actionable, and understandable. Complex language, unnecessary jargon, or unclear messaging hinders compounding because people are less likely to absorb, share, or return to the content. Accessibility maximizes the number of individuals who benefit, increasing reach and reinforcing long-term value. Clarity compounds just as effectively as quantity. Each understandable message contributes to cumulative authority. Plan content strategically, considering both breadth and depth. Cover core topics comprehensively while exploring related subtopics. The balance between a wide range of material and in-depth expertise establishes credibility and encourages engagement from multiple angles. Strategic planning ensures that every day's effort contributes to a cohesive whole rather than isolated outputs, allowing the library to grow in both scope and influence over time. Every day spent producing content is an investment in compounding influence and value. Discipline, consistency, and audience-centric thinking transform ordinary efforts into lasting assets. Each contribution builds on the last, creating a network of knowledge, credibility, and reach. By approaching content as a system, committing to daily production, and focusing on value, every piece multiplies the effect of the previous work, generating influence, opportunity, and income that continues to grow indefinitely. The cumulative power of content created thoughtfully and consistently transforms both reach and financial potential into a lasting, self-reinforcing asset that rewards persistence and strategy in equal measure. Number 5. Automate systems to scale earnings. Automating systems to scale earnings transforms hard work into leverage. The reality is that effort alone has limits. Time is finite, and human energy is exhaustible. To grow income consistently, systems must carry the weight of repetitive tasks, allowing focus to shift from execution to strategy. Automation is not about replacing intelligence. It is about designing processes that operate reliably without constant oversight. By structuring work so that revenue-generating mechanisms function independently, earnings can increase while personal effort remains stable. The key is identifying tasks that are repetitive, predictable, and essential, then creating mechanisms that perform them automatically. Begin by mapping all recurring activities in a business or income stream. Break them down into categories: client communication, product delivery, payment processing, marketing, reporting, and support. Each category contains processes that can be systematized. The goal is to make operations as predictable and repeatable as possible. Once a clear map exists, identify points where technology, delegation, or process design can remove the need for manual intervention. This analysis is crucial. Without it, automation efforts often address the wrong elements and fail to create meaningful leverage. Next, prioritize systems that directly influence revenue. Not all processes have equal impact. Focus first on mechanisms that affect sales, client acquisition, fulfillment, and retention. Automating these components ensures that the core income-generating activities continue consistently. For instance, Payment processing can be set to renew automatically. Order fulfillment can be linked to inventory systems, and email follow-ups can trigger on predetermined customer actions. This approach ensures that automation contributes to measurable growth rather than merely reducing administrative burden. Technology is the most accessible tool for automation today. Various platforms and software allow tasks to run on predefined rules, saving hours of manual work each week. From email sequences to customer relationship management, task scheduling, and digital delivery, technology can perform repetitive functions accurately and efficiently. Selecting the right tools requires understanding the problem, matching the solution to the need, and ensuring ease of use. A system that is overly complex can become a bottleneck rather than an accelerator, so simplicity and reliability must be prioritized. Processes should be documented clearly. Written procedures, flowcharts, or checklists serve as blueprints for automation. They define inputs, expected actions, decision points, and output. Documentation not only facilitates the creation of automated workflows, but also enables delegation, testing, and iterative improvement. When processes are explicitly defined, automation can be implemented systematically and errors are minimized. This documentation becomes an asset itself, providing a reference for scaling and enhancing systems over time. Testing is critical before full-scale implementation. Automation should not be treated as a set-and-forget solution. Simulate operations, observe outcomes, and verify that each system performs as intended. Mistakes in automated workflows can amplify problems quickly because the system operates without immediate human judgment. By conducting careful trials, identifying edge cases, and refining the logic, systems can achieve both efficiency and reliability. A well-tested system becomes predictable, reduces stress, and frees mental energy for strategic decisions. Scalability is the central advantage of automated systems. Once a workflow runs consistently, additional output can be generated without proportionally increasing labor. For example, an automated marketing funnel can handle hundreds of leads simultaneously, delivering follow-up emails, educational content, and product offers without additional intervention. Similarly, digital product distribution can operate continuously, handling new sales, confirmations, and delivery. Systems designed with scalability in mind allow revenue to grow exponentially compared to the incremental growth of manual effort. Automated systems also improve consistency. Human performance varies due to fatigue, distractions, or priorities. Systems, once designed and tested, perform identically every time, ensuring customers or clients experience uniform quality. Consistency strengthens trust and reinforces brand reputation. When interactions, deliverables, and follow-ups are predictable and timely, the perceived professionalism increases. Reliability in execution becomes a competitive advantage, contributing directly to long-term financial growth. Integration amplifies automation. Systems should work together rather than in isolation. Payment gateways can link to order management, customer relationship management tools can integrate with email marketing, and analytics can feed insights into performance dashboards automatically. Integration reduces duplicate work, minimizes errors, and ensures that each component contributes to a cohesive, efficient operation. A fully integrated network of automated processes functions like a well-orchestrated machine, where each element supports others, maximizing output with minimal human intervention. Monitoring and refinement remain essential even with automation. Systems are not static. Markets evolve, customer behavior changes, and technology updates occur. Periodic review ensures that automated workflows remain effective and aligned with current objectives. Data should be analyzed regularly to identify bottlenecks, inefficiencies, or opportunities for enhancement. Continuous improvement strengthens systems over time, allowing them to produce increasing returns as processes evolve alongside the business environment. Delegation complements automation. Not all tasks require software solutions. Some functions benefit from human oversight or specialized expertise. Combining automated processes with selective delegation creates hybrid systems where repetitive elements are handled by technology and complex judgment-based tasks are performed by capable individuals. This hybrid approach maximizes efficiency and leverages both human intelligence and technological reliability to scale operations effectively. Automation enables focus on high-value activities. When repetitive and predictable tasks are systematized, attention can shift to innovation, strategy, and relationship-building areas that technology alone cannot address. This shift is where significant growth occurs. Developing new products, improving existing offerings, exploring new markets, or refining marketing strategies all contribute disproportionately to long-term earnings. Automation, therefore, is not an end, but a means to redirect energy toward growth-oriented actions. Security and contingency planning are crucial. Automated systems depend on predictable inputs and consistent performance. Failures can result in lost revenue or damaged customer relationships. Implement safeguards, backups, and monitoring tools to ensure systems continue operating smoothly, even in the face of unexpected disruptions. Contingency plans protect the compounding effect of automation and preserve the integrity of earnings streams. The psychological impact of automation is significant. Confidence grows when income-generating processes operate independently. The stress associated with constant manual intervention diminishes, creating mental clarity and focus for strategic thinking. Knowing that systems function reliably allows for bolder decisions, faster experimentation, and more deliberate risk-taking. The capacity to act from a position of stability accelerates growth and reinforces disciplined execution. Automation also enables replication. Once a process works efficiently, it can be duplicated across multiple revenue streams, markets, or products. A successful workflow in one domain can inform systems in another, expanding earnings without increasing direct effort. This principle magnifies the power of initial work, allowing a single investment in system design to influence multiple areas, generating a compounding effect across diverse channels. Ultimately, automating systems to scale earnings transforms labor into leverage. Every hour spent designing, testing, and refining automated workflows multiplies over time. The result is predictable, consistent, and scalable revenue. Discipline in creating, monitoring, and improving systems cultivates reliability, efficiency, and compounding growth. By approaching work strategically, automating intelligently, and continuously optimizing, income generation shifts from effort-bound to system-bound, creating freedom, stability, and a foundation for exponential financial expansion that grows steadily and sustainably. Number 6. Invest profits into long-term assets. Investing profits into long-term assets is the bridge between earning and enduring wealth. Earning money alone creates temporary comfort, but allocating those profits wisely lays the foundation for financial independence and security. The first step is developing the mindset that money is a tool, not an end. Every dollar earned carries the potential to multiply, not by spending, but by strategically placing it into assets that grow, generate returns, or appreciate over time. Treat profits as seeds. Each one planted thoughtfully has the potential to bear fruit long into the future. Start by understanding the types of long-term assets that build wealth. Real estate, equities, businesses, intellectual property, and certain collectibles each offer different pathways for appreciation and cash flow. The common factor is that these assets hold intrinsic or market-driven value that can increase over years and decades. Profits allocated to such assets begin working even when you are not actively trading time for money. This distinction is critical. Moving money from earnings into enduring value transforms a temporary inflow into a compounding mechanism that grows steadily and predictably. Assess risk carefully before committing funds. Long-term investments require patience and discipline, which means accepting that markets fluctuate and short-term volatility is inevitable. Understanding the risk-reward balance helps maintain focus on the long-term objective, rather than reacting emotionally to temporary setbacks. A calculated approach protects both capital and peace of mind, ensuring that decisions are driven by strategic planning rather than fear or impulse. Diversification within long-term assets is essential. Spreading investments across multiple vehicles reduces exposure and smooths growth over time. Allocate a portion of every profit consistently. Treat reinvestment like a non-negotiable expense, not an afterthought. Whether it is a fixed percentage of each month's earnings or a set portion of each completed project, consistent action compounds faster than sporadic, large allocations. Small, regular contributions create momentum. Over time, these incremental investments grow into significant holdings, benefiting from both appreciation and compounding returns. Discipline in allocation is as important as the choice of assets themselves. Research and due diligence are crucial for each investment. Understanding market trends, valuation, liquidity, and historical performance reduces uncertainty and increases the likelihood of selecting assets that generate meaningful returns. This does not require perfect prediction. It requires informed decisions based on patterns, data, and sound reasoning. Educating oneself about the fundamentals of each asset class allows for strategic deployment of profits rather than blind speculation. Knowledge transforms investment from chance into a systematic, controlled effort to grow wealth steadily. Focus on assets that provide both growth and optional cash flow. Real estate rentals, dividend-paying stocks, or intellectual property can generate income while appreciating over time. Dual benefits increase resilience and accelerate compounding. Reinvest cash flows from these assets to acquire additional holdings, creating a cycle where profits continuously feed new opportunities. This compounding loop is the essence of financial acceleration, turning small allocations into significant wealth over decades. Maintain patience and resist the temptation to withdraw prematurely. Long-term investments require time to realize their full potential. Emotional discipline is key. Avoid reacting to daily market noise, temporary declines, or external opinions. Wealth built through long-term assets accumulates quietly, often unnoticed, until the compounding effect reaches a scale where financial freedom is self-evident. By holding steadfast, the investor allows both time and market forces to amplify the value of profits. Leverage professional advice and tools where appropriate. Financial advisors, tax specialists, or investment platforms can provide insight into optimizing allocation, minimizing unnecessary risk, and taking advantage of compounding benefits efficiently. Relying solely on instinct or incomplete information increases the likelihood of mistakes. Strategic guidance complements personal research, ensuring that profits are deployed intelligently and in alignment with long-term goals. Systems for monitoring and adjusting investments regularly also support growth by identifying opportunities or risks promptly. Document all investment decisions and outcomes. Keeping clear records of allocations, performance, and rationale provides clarity, facilitates learning, and supports disciplined reinvestment. Reviewing historical decisions helps refine strategies, recognize patterns, and avoid repeating errors. Documentation transforms experience into actionable insight, turning passive holdings into a source of knowledge that guides future choices. This organized approach compounds wisdom alongside capital, strengthening both financial and decision-making capability over time. Adjust strategy as circumstances evolve. Life events, market conditions, and personal goals change over time. Maintaining flexibility while adhering to long-term principles ensures that investments remain aligned with overarching objectives. Rebalancing portfolios, exploring new asset classes, and capitalizing on emerging opportunities enhance growth potential. Discipline does not mean rigidity. It means consistent, informed evaluation and the willingness to refine approaches without losing focus on the long-term horizon. Protect assets through legal and structural measures. Ownership, liability, and tax considerations can significantly affect returns. Utilizing proper legal entities, insurance, and contractual safeguards preserves wealth from unexpected disruptions or losses. Preventative action protects both the principal and the compounding effect of profits. Long-term investments are only effective when the underlying structure safeguards them, ensuring continuity across time and circumstances. Seek assets that can operate semi-independently or generate passive income. This may include automated businesses, intellectual property licensing, or rental income. The advantage of these assets is that they reduce reliance on personal labor while still providing measurable returns. Allocating profits toward these opportunities magnifies the ability to scale wealth while freeing time for further strategic thinking, creative ventures, or lifestyle priorities. Autonomy and compounding reinforce each other in long-term financial planning. Embrace a mindset of continuous reinvestment. Profits should rarely remain idle. They should feed systems, growth, and opportunities. Even small contributions compound dramatically over years. The habit of cycling earnings into productive channels is a principle that distinguishes transient wealth from lasting financial stability. Compounding is not magic. It is the disciplined practice of allocating capital intelligently and consistently over extended periods. Understand that opportunity grows with scale. Early investments, even modest ones, create a foundation for larger opportunities as capital accumulates. Each profitable allocation expands both confidence and ability to identify new assets. Growth in wealth accelerates as the number of invested dollars increases, allowing strategic entry into higher value assets that might have been inaccessible initially. The compounding effect is magnified when profits continuously flow into growing holdings. View profits as a tool for freedom, not indulgence. Every allocation into long-term assets represents a step toward independence. The aim is not immediate gratification but sustained capability, security, and flexibility. By prioritizing long-term accumulation, financial choices align with long-term vision rather than short-term desires. This mindset transforms profits into mechanisms for lasting stability and opportunity, reinforcing discipline and purpose. Investing profits into long-term assets transforms short-term earnings into enduring wealth. Every decision must be intentional, informed, and disciplined. By consistently allocating profits, diversifying intelligently, and maintaining patience, growth compounds. Reinvestment, protection, and strategic scaling turn profits into self-sustaining engines of wealth. Over time, this practice creates a foundation where income flows reliably, freedom expands, and financial security is no longer uncertain, but structured, predictable, and enduring. The process is deliberate, systematic, and cumulative, each step reinforcing the next, creating a framework where wealth grows steadily, resiliently, and indefinitely. Number 7. Create offers people repeatedly buy. Creating offers people repeatedly buy is the cornerstone of building sustainable income and long-term business growth. One-time sales provide short-term rewards, but the real power lies in designing offers that deliver ongoing value, encourage loyalty, and generate repeat revenue. To accomplish this, it is essential to focus on understanding customer needs at a deep level. Repeatable purchases occur when an offer solves a recurring problem, fulfills a desire consistently, or becomes integrated into a user's routine. The most successful products and services are indispensable because they address something people experience continuously, not just occasionally. Start by analyzing your target audience's behavior. Identify the pain points, habits, and triggers that lead to repeated consumption. What problems do they encounter regularly? What solutions do they rely on to maintain comfort, efficiency, or satisfaction? Once these patterns are understood, structure offers around these needs. The aim is to create a product or service that fits seamlessly into daily, weekly, or monthly life. Offers that solve recurring issues naturally encourage customers to return, forming a stable foundation for continuous revenue. Designing for convenience and ease of access is critical. People will only buy repeatedly if it requires minimal effort or friction to do so. This could mean subscription models, automated deliveries, replenishable products, or digital services that renew automatically. Each interaction should feel effortless from the customer's perspective, while consistently delivering the promised value. When purchasing becomes routine and reliable, the offer moves from a transaction to a habit, and habits drive repeatable behavior over time, deliver tangible and measurable outcomes. Customers return when they experience clear results that justify the cost. The value proposition must be explicit: what problem is solved, what improvement is achieved, and how the offer enhances life or business consistently. Ensure that each touchpoint reinforces the perception of value. If customers perceive diminishing benefits, repeat purchases decline. Longevity comes from maintaining or improving results over time. So design your offer to be relevant and effective for as long as it is in use. Incorporate feedback loops to refine and enhance the offer. Consistently gathering insights from repeat customers allows you to optimize features, pricing, or delivery methods. Feedback provides clarity on what drives loyalty and highlights friction points that could reduce repeated purchases. Using this information, iterate systematically to improve user experience, adding features or bonuses that encourage continued engagement. Refinement ensures that offers remain compelling and aligned with evolving customer expectations. Tiered offerings can increase repeat engagement, providing multiple levels of service or product options encourages deeper participation. Entry-level access draws initial interest, while premium or advanced tiers provide additional value for those willing to invest more. Tiered structures create opportunities for upselling and increase the lifetime value of each customer. The key is to make each level genuinely valuable while maintaining the core benefit that encourages continuous engagement. Customers feel rewarded for progressing without losing interest at lower tiers. Build trust and credibility with every transaction. Repeat purchases depend on confidence in the product, service, and brand. Consistency, transparency, and responsiveness are essential. Ensure that promises are fulfilled, communication is clear, and problems are addressed promptly. A single negative experience can disrupt repeat behavior, while reliable, trustworthy delivery strengthens loyalty. Trust compounds over time, and customers who consistently experience satisfaction are more likely to return, refer others, and deepen engagement with your offerings. Integrate scarcity and anticipation wisely. While the offer must be available for repeat consumption, periodic enhancements, limited editions, or exclusive features can create excitement and maintain engagement. People are more likely to purchase repeatedly if there is perceived freshness or improvement. Strategic use of scarcity encourages immediate action without making the product inaccessible, balancing availability with motivation to continue interacting with the offer. Automate processes to facilitate repeat purchases. Use subscription billing, scheduled shipments, or membership access systems to ensure that the offer is delivered reliably without requiring constant intervention. Automation removes barriers and reduces the risk of lapses in customer engagement. Systems that manage recurring interactions, reminders, and updates allow you to focus on improving the product and expanding reach, rather than managing repetitive administrative tasks. Automation amplifies repeat revenue while maintaining customer satisfaction. Leverage psychological triggers that encourage habitual behavior. Consistency, convenience, and perceived value drive repeat engagement, reinforce positive outcomes, and make the process of repurchasing seamless. Provide reminders, updates, or additional support to keep the offer top of mind. Habit formation increases the likelihood of consistent revenue, transforming occasional buyers into long-term supporters. Understanding human behavior and decision-making patterns allows for designing offers that naturally integrate into the customer's routine. Monitor performance metrics to identify growth opportunities. Track repeat purchase rates, customer lifetime value, churn rates, and satisfaction scores. These indicators reveal how effectively your offer is encouraging ongoing engagement and where improvements can be made. Use this data to make evidence-based adjustments to pricing, features, or communication strategies. Continuous analysis ensures that the offer remains optimized for long-term revenue generation, rather than relying on assumptions or temporary spikes in sales. Provide a pathway for customer involvement and advocacy. Engaged customers who feel connected to the product or brand are more likely to return and encourage others to do the same. Incentives, loyalty programs, referral bonuses, and community engagement all contribute to a culture of repeated purchases. When customers participate actively, they internalize the value and become part of the growth engine, compounding revenue organically. Plan for adaptability over time. Customer needs, market conditions, and trends change, so the offer must evolve while retaining its core value. Introduce new features, adjust pricing, or expand accessibility in response to shifts in demand. Flexibility ensures the offer remains relevant and continues to encourage repeated engagement. A stagnant product or service risks becoming obsolete, while adaptive offerings maintain momentum and sustainable revenue. Consider bundling or cross-selling complementary products or services. This strategy increases the frequency of transactions and deepens the customer relationship. Each interaction provides another opportunity to reinforce value and encourage further purchases. Bundles should be logically connected and enhance overall utility, creating a network of related offerings that sustain ongoing engagement and income. Reinvest revenue from repeat purchases into improving the offer, enhancing quality, adding new features, or expanding customer support increases satisfaction and reinforces loyalty. Continuous investment in the offer ensures that repeat purchases are not merely habitual, but are driven by ongoing value creation. A dynamic approach to improvement strengthens the feedback loop between product and customer, amplifying long-term results. Ultimately, creating offers people repeatedly buy is about understanding customer behavior, delivering consistent and tangible value, and designing systems that make engagement effortless. Offers must be reliable, convenient, and meaningful to inspire loyalty. By focusing on repeatable solutions, automating delivery, collecting feedback, and continuously refining the experience, it is possible to transform initial sales into a self-sustaining engine of income. This approach generates not only revenue but also trust, influence, and a foundation for long-term growth that compounds over time. Discipline, insight, and attention to customer needs combine to create offers that endure, producing repeated transactions and sustained financial stability for years to come. Number 8. Leverage distribution platforms for reach. Leveraging distribution platforms for reach is essential for turning valuable content, products, or services into widely accessible assets that generate consistent income. The effort you put into creating high-quality offerings only achieves its full potential when people can easily find and consume them. Distribution platforms are the bridges that connect creators and entrepreneurs to large, often global audiences, amplifying exposure far beyond what one could achieve alone. Understanding how to strategically use these channels can multiply reach, increase engagement, and accelerate growth, while reducing the effort needed to connect with the right audience. Begin by identifying which platforms align with your target market. Every platform attracts a unique demographic with specific interests, habits, and engagement patterns. Social media channels, marketplaces, streaming services, and email networks all have different strengths. Select platforms where your potential audience is already active and tailor your approach to their preferences. Understanding the behavior of users on each platform ensures that your content is not just visible but resonates effectively, increasing the likelihood of sustained interaction and adoption. Create content that fits the format and expectations of each platform. Users engage differently depending on the medium. Short videos perform on social media. Detailed guides thrive on blogs, podcasts, attract listeners who prefer audio content, and marketplaces favor clear, structured product presentations. Adapting your material ensures maximum visibility and engagement. Platforms often prioritize content that keeps users active and satisfied, so matching style, length, and delivery with platform norms enhances discoverability and organic reach. Consistency is a key factor in leveraging platforms successfully. Regular posting, updating, or publishing keeps your content visible and signals reliability to both algorithms and audiences. Platforms reward consistent contributors with greater reach, recommended placements, and higher engagement. Establishing a rhythm of content delivery creates familiarity, builds trust, and encourages audiences to return. Over time, daily or weekly contributions compound, amplifying influence and reinforcing the perception of authority and reliability. Engage actively with audiences on each platform. Algorithms and users both favor creators who interact with their communities. Responding to comments, answering questions, and participating in discussions demonstrates attentiveness and reinforces credibility. Engagement increases visibility, encourages sharing, and nurtures loyal followers. Platforms amplify the reach of content that sparks interaction, so audience participation becomes a multiplier for exposure. Active engagement creates a feedback loop, informing future content while expanding influence. Use analytics to measure performance and refine strategies. Platforms provide data on reach, impressions, engagement rates, and user behavior. Studying these metrics helps identify what resonates, which distribution channels are most effective, and where adjustments are needed. Data-driven decision-making ensures that your energy is invested where it yields the highest returns. Over time, analyzing trends allows for optimization, ensuring that reach and impact continue to grow with precision and purpose. Incorporate cross-platform strategies to maximize visibility. No single platform captures all potential audience members. By distributing content across multiple channels, you increase exposure and reduce dependence on any one source. Each platform can serve a complementary role. One may generate awareness, another drives engagement, and a third converts followers into customers. Coordinated efforts ensure that content, products, or services reach audiences at various touchpoints, reinforcing messaging and encouraging repeated interaction. Optimize content for discoverability within each platform. Keywords, tags, descriptions, and metadata all play critical roles in helping potential audiences find your offerings. Understanding how search and recommendation algorithms function allows content to surface more effectively. Small adjustments in phrasing, structure, or categorization can significantly increase visibility. Ensuring content is optimized for each platform's ecosystem enhances the chances that your work reaches users actively seeking solutions or inspiration. Consider paid amplification strategically. Advertising, sponsored placements, or promoted posts can accelerate reach beyond organic limitations. When used thoughtfully, paid distribution allows precise targeting, directing content to those most likely to engage or convert. Effective campaigns leverage insights from analytics to minimize waste and maximize return on investment. Paid exposure is most powerful when it complements organic distribution, ensuring that initial attention converts into ongoing visibility and long-term growth. Collaborate with influencers or complementary creators on each platform. Partnerships expand reach by introducing your content or product to audiences that trust the collaborator. Joint efforts, co-created content, or shared promotions leverage existing networks, creating exponential exposure. Collaboration should focus on alignment in values, audience demographics, and content style to maintain authenticity and effectiveness. Strategic alliances enhance credibility while dramatically increasing distribution efficiency. Repurpose content for multiple touchpoints within platforms. A single piece of high-quality material can be adapted into different formats to maximize exposure. A video can become a clip series. A podcast can generate transcription-based blogs, and guides can be broken into social media tips. Each adaptation increases reach without duplicating effort, ensuring that valuable work continues to attract attention in varied ways. Repurposing content amplifies both efficiency and long-term impact, multiplying engagement across audiences. Automate certain distribution tasks where possible. Scheduling tools, RSS feeds, automated posting, and integrated sharing systems reduce manual work while maintaining consistent presence. Automation ensures that content reaches audiences regularly, even during periods when direct involvement is limited. Well-implemented systems maintain visibility, free mental bandwidth, and allow creators to focus on refining material, creating new offerings, or engaging strategically rather than performing repetitive distribution tasks. Prioritize building email lists and owned platforms alongside external channels. Distribution platforms provide reach, but owning a direct communication channel preserves long-term influence. Email lists, memberships, and private portals give direct access to audiences independent of algorithmic changes or platform policies. Combined with platform amplification, owned channels ensure continuity, reliability, and resilience in audience reach over time. Focus on the long-term accumulation of exposure. Reach compounds when content remains accessible, discoverable, and engaging over months and years. Evergreen material, consistently updated platforms, and persistent engagement gradually build authority, trust, and visibility. The effect is exponential. Early efforts feed future success, and networks of distribution amplify content continuously. Patience and persistence ensure that every post, product, or service contributes to a steadily growing footprint. Protect your brand reputation across platforms. Quality control, consistent messaging, and professional presentation reinforce credibility. Audiences and platforms favor creators who maintain standards. Missteps can reduce reach, discourage engagement, or damage trust. Upholding a strong, consistent presence across channels maximizes the compounding effect of reach, ensuring that exposure translates into meaningful influence and sustainable income. Ultimately, leveraging distribution platforms for reach turns localized or niche offerings into accessible, scalable assets. By strategically selecting channels, optimizing content, engaging audiences, analyzing performance, and maintaining consistency, visibility grows steadily over time. Integration, automation, and collaboration amplify exposure. While minimizing effort, each platform becomes a multiplier, transforming individual pieces of content, products, or services into continuously expanding networks of influence and opportunity. Disciplined execution ensures that reach compounds daily, creating enduring impact, expanding income potential, and establishing a foundation for long-term growth that extends far beyond initial creation. Number 9, add subscriptions for recurring payments. Adding subscriptions for recurring payments is one of the most powerful ways to transform a business or asset into a consistent, predictable, and scalable source of income. One-time sales provide immediate cash, but they require continuous effort to maintain revenue. Subscriptions, on the other hand, convert individual transactions into ongoing relationships, where value is delivered and compensated continuously. This approach shifts focus from chasing new customers constantly to nurturing existing ones while providing them with consistent utility, support, or content. The principle is simple: create offerings people rely on regularly and align payment structures to reinforce that reliance. The first step is identifying products or services that naturally lend themselves to repeat consumption. This can be tangible items that need replenishment, digital resources that provide ongoing learning or updates, membership programs, or services with regular maintenance requirements. The key is ensuring that the offering delivers consistent, measurable value. Customers must perceive that subscribing provides more benefit than the effort of purchasing individually each time. The stronger the recurring need or desire, the more predictable the revenue becomes. Pricing strategy is critical for successful subscription models. The cost must reflect the value delivered, remain competitive, and encourage long-term engagement. Tiered pricing options can attract different segments of the market, accommodating beginners, moderate users, and power users. Entry-level tiers build trust and introduce customers to the subscription, while higher levels deliver enhanced value for those willing to invest more. Flexible pricing ensures accessibility while maximizing revenue potential and customer retention. Design the subscription experience to emphasize convenience. Automating billing, delivery, or access reduces friction and ensures that the customer receives benefits consistently without additional effort. Predictable processes reduce churn, increase satisfaction, and free the provider to focus on improving the service rather than managing repetitive administrative tasks. A seamless, hassle-free experience reinforces loyalty, making it more likely that subscribers will remain engaged over months and years. Value perception must be reinforced continuously. Subscribers should feel that their recurring investment produces tangible results, whether through tangible goods, digital content, ongoing support, or exclusive access. Regular updates, fresh content, and continuous improvements remind users of the benefits they receive. The more consistently the subscription delivers value, the stronger the incentive to continue. Failure to maintain relevance or quality can lead to cancellations, so active engagement and enhancement are vital to sustaining revenue. Retention strategies are crucial in subscription models. Offering community support, personalized communication, or loyalty perks strengthens the bond between the customer and the service. When subscribers feel connected and recognized, they are less likely to cancel and more likely to upgrade or refer others. Consistent communication such as newsletters, updates, or tips reinforces the perception of value and encourages continued participation. Every touchpoint contributes to the long-term relationship, turning payments into sustained support. Automation tools are indispensable for managing recurring payments effectively. Payment gateways, membership management systems, and notification platforms streamline operations, reduce errors, and maintain continuity. These tools enable providers to focus on growth, content creation, or customer experience, while ensuring that billing, reminders, and access operate reliably. Automation amplifies the scalability of subscription models, allowing the business to handle hundreds or thousands of subscribers without proportional increases in labor. Analytics and tracking improve decision-making within subscription models. Understanding subscriber behavior, usage patterns, engagement levels, and churn rates provides insights into how to enhance retention and increase value. Data-driven adjustments, such as optimizing content frequency, introducing new features, or adjusting pricing, ensure that the subscription remains attractive and aligned with user needs. Tracking metrics transforms recurring revenue from a passive flow into a strategic growth tool that can be continuously optimized for maximum effectiveness. Incentivizing referrals strengthens the compounding power of subscriptions. Subscribers who advocate for the service expand reach organically, creating new recurring revenue streams with minimal acquisition cost. Referral programs, discounts, or exclusive benefits for sharing enhance engagement and reward loyalty. Social proof from trusted users increases credibility, encouraging new subscribers to join and reinforcing a positive cycle of growth. Compounding occurs not just from retention but from the network effect generated through existing users. Content and service quality must evolve to maintain long-term engagement. Static offerings tend to lose relevance over time. Continuously enhancing features, adding updates, or providing exclusive content maintains excitement and usefulness. Subscribers perceive ongoing improvement as justification for continued investment. Incremental enhancements create a perception of growing value, reinforcing the commitment to remain a paying member. Evolution in offerings ensures that recurring payments feel like a rational and rewarding decision month after month. Customer support plays a pivotal role in subscription success. Quick, effective, and empathetic assistance prevents frustration and reduces cancellations. Subscribers who feel heard, supported, and valued are more likely to remain loyal. Providing access to helpful resources, FAQs, and direct assistance reinforces the perception of reliability and responsiveness. A positive support experience contributes as much to retention as the core product or service itself, ensuring that recurring payments are maintained over time. Segmenting audiences enhances personalization and relevance. Different subscriber groups may have varying needs, preferences, and expectations. Tailoring communication, content, and offers to these segments increases engagement and satisfaction. Personalized experiences encourage continued participation and allow providers to introduce upsells, add-ons, or complementary services that increase the lifetime value of each subscriber. Precision targeting within a subscription model ensures that revenue growth is sustainable and optimized. Marketing strategies for subscriptions emphasize the ongoing value rather than a one-time benefit. Messaging should highlight continuity, consistent results, and exclusive advantages that subscribers cannot access elsewhere. Clear communication about benefits, updates, and long-term impact reduces hesitation and encourages commitment. Storytelling that reinforces the cumulative effect of continued participations strengthens emotional and practical reasons to remain engaged. Marketing reinforces both acquisition and retention by focusing on the lasting utility of the subscription. Financial management is critical in subscription-based systems. Predictable income allows planning, reinvestment, and scaling. Regular cash flow can be allocated toward growth initiatives, system improvements, content creation, or customer acquisition strategies. Monitoring churn and understanding lifetime value guides strategic decisions about pricing, retention campaigns, and product enhancements. Subscriptions transform revenue streams from irregular and unpredictable to structured and compounding, creating a foundation for long-term financial stability. Ultimately, adding subscriptions for recurring payments converts single transactions into ongoing relationships, providing consistent, scalable, and predictable revenue. By creating offerings that address recurring needs, designing seamless and automated experiences, reinforcing value, and continuously engaging subscribers, recurring revenue becomes a self-sustaining engine of growth. Every subscription compounds as the user base expands, retention strengthens, and lifetime value increases. This approach transforms short-term sales into enduring income, builds deeper connections with audiences, and establishes a financial foundation capable of sustaining long-term wealth creation and stability. Discipline, strategic planning, and continuous improvement ensure that subscriptions remain relevant, profitable, and increasingly valuable over time. Number 10. Protect assets through smart structure. Protecting assets through smart structure is the final, yet arguably most critical step in creating long-lasting wealth. Accumulating valuable resources, whether financial, intellectual, or physical, only matters if they are safeguarded against risks, liabilities, and unforeseen disruptions. Without proper structuring, even the most successful ventures can falter due to legal challenges, taxation issues, market changes, or mismanagement. Smart asset protection ensures that what you've built remains intact, grows over time, and can continue to generate income without being unnecessarily exposed to preventable threats. The first principle is understanding that assets are vulnerable in multiple ways. Liability, poor legal setup, operational exposure, and lack of diversification can all put wealth at risk. For instance, holding investments or property in your personal name may expose them to lawsuits, creditors, or divorce settlements. Similarly, intellectual property or digital products may be infringed upon without legal safeguards. Recognizing the different avenues of risk is the starting point for designing a robust structure that shields assets from erosion or sudden loss. Segregation is a foundational strategy in protecting assets. Separating personal assets from business holdings prevents cross-contamination of risk. Business entities, such as corporations, limited liability companies, or partnerships, act as protective layers, ensuring that liabilities incurred in one sphere do not compromise other holdings. For instance, an operational business may face lawsuits or debts, but structured correctly, your personal savings, real estate, or investment portfolio remain insulated. Segregation limits exposure and establishes clear boundaries between income-generating ventures and personal wealth. Legal structures provide a critical framework for asset protection. Different jurisdictions and entity types offer varying levels of liability protection, tax advantages, and operational flexibility. Selecting the appropriate entity depends on the nature of the asset, the expected risks, and long-term objectives. A well-chosen legal structure can minimize exposure to creditors, reduce tax burdens, and create a formal system for managing ownership, succession, and professional guidance from attorneys and financial advisors is invaluable for navigating these complexities and ensuring compliance while maximizing protection. Insurance is another essential layer. Even the best structured assets are vulnerable to unforeseen events, such as natural disasters, accidents, or professional liabilities. Property insurance, liability coverage, business interruption policies, and specialized protection for digital or intellectual assets provide financial backup when unexpected events occur. Insurance functions as a buffer, preserving capital while mitigating potential losses. The combination of legal structures and insurance creates a multi-layered defense that strengthens resilience against a wide spectrum of risks. Diversification complements structural protection. Spreading assets across multiple categories, locations, or investment vehicles reduces dependence on any single source. Real estate, equities, businesses, and intellectual property each have different risk profiles. Geographic diversification prevents localized disruptions from undermining wealth, while asset class diversification balances growth and security. By avoiding concentration in one type of asset or environment, risk is diluted, and potential for long-term compounding is preserved. Strategic diversification ensures that even if one asset encounters challenges, Others continue generating returns. Establish clear ownership and operational hierarchies. Ambiguity in asset control can lead to disputes, mismanagement, or accidental exposure. Clear documentation of ownership, voting rights, responsibilities, and succession plans creates transparency and reduces conflict. This clarity allows for seamless decision-making, avoids unnecessary legal entanglements, and ensures that assets are governed according to strategic intent. Structured control is particularly important for family businesses, partnerships, or multi-entity arrangements where multiple stakeholders are involved. Protect intellectual property rigorously. For creators, digital entrepreneurs, or inventors, intellectual assets are among the most valuable yet most vulnerable holdings. Patents, copyrights, trademarks, and licensing agreements formalize ownership, prevent unauthorized use, and create revenue opportunities through controlled distribution. Without formal protection, these assets can be exploited, eroded, or smart structuring includes securing IP legally, monitoring usage, and enforcing rights when necessary, ensuring long-term benefit from ideas, innovations, or proprietary content. Estate planning and succession strategies reinforce protection. Assets lose value if they are not efficiently transferred or managed during life transitions. Wills, trusts, and strategic gifting ensure that assets pass according to intentions, minimize tax burdens, and avoid disputes among heirs or partners. Trust structures in particular can shield assets from external claims while maintaining control over distribution. By embedding succession planning into the asset structure, wealth preservation extends beyond the current generation, creating enduring financial security. Cash flow management and operational disciplines support structural integrity. Assets that generate income must be managed prudently to avoid depletion. Smart structuring involves separating revenue streams, allocating funds for reinvestment, and maintaining liquidity for contingencies. Even well-protected assets can fail if financial discipline is lacking. Establishing clear procedures for accounting, reinvestment, and expenditure ensures that assets continue growing while risks of mismanagement or overspending are minimized. Leverage legal agreements to solidify protection. Contracts, partnership agreements, and licensing deals formalize expectations, reduce ambiguity, and protect against disputes. Structured agreements define responsibilities, penalties, and recourse, ensuring that business operations and partnerships operate smoothly. Legal frameworks provide enforceable protection, preventing misunderstandings from escalating into financial or operational threats. Every agreement becomes a tool for preserving assets and maintaining predictable control over outcomes. Regular review and adaptation are necessary. Risks evolve over time, as do laws, markets, and business conditions. Periodically auditing the asset structure identifies weaknesses, opportunities for improvement, or gaps in protection. Adjustments can include changing legal entities, updating insurance, modifying ownership arrangements, or diversifying holdings. Dynamic adaptation ensures that protection mechanisms remain effective in shifting environments, allowing assets to grow securely without exposure to emerging threats. Combine automation with oversight. Systems that monitor asset performance, legal compliance, and financial health allow early detection of issues. Automated alerts for deadlines, renewals, or thresholds prevent oversight from compromising structural integrity. Oversight ensures that automated processes remain aligned with strategic objectives. The combination of systems and active management maximizes efficiency, reduces human error, and strengthens the overall security of assets. Education and knowledge build resilience. Understanding the principles of asset protection, financial management, and risk mitigation empowers decision-makers to act proactively. Awareness of vulnerabilities, potential legal implications, and strategic opportunities enables more effective structuring. Knowledge reduces reliance on reactive measures and allows for intentional, informed decisions that enhance long-term security. Continuous learning ensures that structures remain aligned with best practices and evolving challenges. Ultimately, protecting assets through smart structure is about creating a resilient framework that safeguards wealth against uncertainty, legal exposure, and operational risk. By combining legal entities, insurance, diversification, clear ownership, intellectual property protection, estate planning, disciplined cash flow, and continuous monitoring, assets are preserved and positioned for growth. Smart structure transforms fragile earnings into durable wealth, ensuring that the value generated through consistent effort, strategic investment, and innovative work continues to serve over the long term. This approach creates a stable foundation, allowing income streams to compound, opportunities to expand, and financial security to endure, no matter the challenges that arise. Effective structuring is not a one-time task, but an ongoing practice, where vigilance, adaptation, and strategic planning reinforce every layer of protection, creating a system where assets remain safe, productive, and capable of generating lasting prosperity.